Welcome back to the deep dive. So, if you've ever looked for a costume online, chances are pretty high you've landed on HalloweenCostumes.com.
Oh, yeah, they're huge. Sort of the giant in the online costume world.
Exactly. They
Sure.
pull you in with this promise, right? Largest selection of costumes, accessories, and decorations. Big claim.
It is.
Our mission today, though, is to, cut through that marketing speak. Does the actual customer experience line up with that promise?
Because the reviews we looked at, they tell a bit of a different story than just shiny branding.
Yeah, there's this enthusiasm for the selection, definitely. But then you see all this friction, like on the back end, with returns and service.
Right.
We need to figure out exactly where the hidden risks are for you, the shopper.
That's the plan. We've gone through a ton of sources trying to get a clear picture of this massive site. We'll break it down into like three main parts: what they actually do well, what's genuinely worrying customers, and then the really crucial bit, the specific policies, those potential traps you need to know before you even think about buying.
Okay, good plan. Let's start with the positives then.
Yeah.
Because, they wouldn't be so big if they weren't doing something right.
True.
And they really do deliver on selection. I mean, options for adults, kids, pets even, plus all the wigs, makeup, props.
Yeah, the whole package. You can usually find something for whatever theme you've got in mind.
And some customers do rave about the items themselves. They say things like, lightweight, unique, surprisingly well made. Plus, those inclusive sizing charts get mentioned as genuinely helpful sometimes.
So they seem to nail that initial part, finding something cool, maybe getting the size right the first time, getting it delivered fast. That explains the market share.
Right.
But like you said, that seems to be where the positive experience often hits a wall, based on the overall ratings anyway.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. If the product itself can be good, why are the scores for actually resolving issues so?
Yeah.
Well, frankly, bad.
That's the key question, isn't it? How do you square that circle? On Trustpilot, the average is what, around 3.0 stars, which is just kind of,
Mediocre.
But then you look at a site like Pissed Consumer, and it plummets, like way down to about 1.6 stars. It's a huge drop.
Wow. Is that just like only the angriest people end up on one side versus the other?
Mm-hmm.
Or something else going on?
It really points towards problems with resolution. When things go wrong, people get really unhappy, it seems.
Okay.
And the complaints, they're pretty consistent. You see the same things over and over: missing items from the order, refunds taking forever, or customer service just being incredibly hard to actually get a hold of.
Right, the runaround.
Yeah. And this isn't just, a handful of grumpy folks. The Better Business Bureau logged over 160 complaints in the last 3 years alone.
160.
Yeah, and those involve things like broken items showing up or, crucially, deliveries arriving after the event, late for Halloween.
So the biggest headache isn't necessarily the costume itself, but trying to fix a problem if one pops up.
Exactly. Which leads us straight to their return policies. These get flagged constantly as being, well, pretty tough on the customer.
Okay, so what are these buyer traps or hurdles we need to watch out for? Let's get specific.
Well, first, there's the money side. They hit you with an 18% restocking fee.
18%, just to put it back on the shelf.
Yep. Almost a fifth of what you paid, gone, just for sending it back.
Ouch. That's significant.
And then there's the process itself. The policy often states items must be returned unopened.
Unopened. How do you know if it fits if you can't open it and try it on? That's the main reason people return clothes.
Exactly. So if you try it on, find it's the wrong size, technically, you might be out of luck depending on how strictly they enforce that unopened rule. It's ambiguous. Plus, on top of the restocking fee, you have to pay to ship it back.
So you're paying shipping both ways, plus losing nearly 20%. That makes returning something almost not worth it financially for cheaper items.
It really discourages returns, yeah. It suggests the model might rely less on customer loyalty and repeat business and more on, high volume sales where returns are just too costly or difficult for many people.
Okay, that makes sense in a frustrating way.
And we found this one story that really highlights the risk. Someone bought a costume, cost about $130.
Okay.
It arrived, way too big, so they tried to exchange it. But instead of getting their money back or even a straightforward exchange, they only got fun bucks.
Fun bucks like store credit?
Essentially, yeah. Store credit, which often has its own rules like expiration dates or minimum spends, not cash.
Right.
And when they pushed for an actual refund later, they were just denied, flat out.
Wow. So getting your actual money back can be a real uphill battle.
It certainly suggests a very high-risk environment if anything deviates from a perfect transaction.
Okay, so pulling this all together, what's the final verdict? Is it a scam or just tricky?
I wouldn't call it an outright scam, no. They do deliver costumes. But it's definitely what we'd call a high-risk shopping experience. The potential downside, if things go wrong, is pretty significant.
So not guaranteed bad, but you're rolling the dice a bit more than usual.
Exactly. If you do decide to buy from them, you absolutely need to go in with your eyes wide open.
What's the key advice then?
Triple check those size charts. Measure yourself. Don't just guess. When the package arrives, open it and inspect everything immediately. Don't wait.
Good point. Don't let it sit until the party.
And critically, understand your potential costs before you click buy. Know that you'll likely pay return shipping and that 18% restocking fee if it has to go back. Factor that into your decision.
Right. So the final thought for you listening is this. Given what we've seen, the consistent issues with getting problems resolved, these pretty strict and costly return policies, how much are you actually willing to gamble on convenience, especially for something you might only wear once? What hidden cost worries you the most? That's something to chew on.